Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave, and if you were the owner or the operator of one of these small John Deere compact utility tractors such as the 1023E, the 1025R or the 2025R, then you need to stop using it right now. So what is the problem with these John Deere tractors? Well, John Deere in the last month or so have announced a major recall on some of their compact utility tractors, namely the 1023E, the 1025R and the 2025R tractor. Now this relates to a problem or a component failure in the braking system called the front bell crank, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I first found out about this problem by watching another YouTube channel called Tractor Time with Tim in the US, and he was alerting his viewers back in July or August about this problem that had come up and that John Deere were in the process of starting a recall on these tractors. And the number is really quite staggering, I think. It seems to affect about 147,000 tractors, and I have seen some reports where the number could be closer to 200,000 tractors, so that's quite a big recall. Now, as I said, I did see this on Tim's video back in July or August this year in 2024. And I did wonder at the time whether my tractor here behind me, my 2025R tractor, would be affected. And I thought it probably would be, because they are made in the US, they are imported into Australia. So I did think at some stage I would hopefully find out some more information about the recall that would affect me. And just in the last couple of weeks, so we're talking now late September, early October, I did receive my official letter from John Deere telling me about the problem and alerting me to the fact of the recall notice. Now that's good that they had my details, because I did buy my tractor new from my local John Deere dealer, and they're called RDO Equipment up in Rutherford, which is about 20 minutes from where I am. So they had my contact details, they had the serial number of the tractor, so they could get in touch with me quite quickly. Now some of my concerns are, for people that may be watching, is you may have one of these affected tractors, but nobody really knows who you are. You may have bought the tractor secondhand off Craigslist or Marketplace or Trading Post or something like that. So I would encourage people that if you do have one of these model tractors, the 1023E, the 1025R or the 2025R tractor, that you contact your local John Deere dealer, give them the serial number of your tractor, and they will tell you whether it's actually will be affected by this recall. Now it only affects certain years, and in the letter here it says it affects the model years of 2018 through to 2022 of those three tractors, sold from dealers from November of 2017 right up to July of 2024. It's saying also in the letter here that there's a product improvement program that has been developed, and you'll be notified when it's released. So they're saying that they've identified the problem, but they're still working on getting the parts to fix it, if that sort of makes sense. Now this recall, I think, started because there were a number of incidents that were reported from around the world concerning accidents that were being caused by this front bell crank failing. I believe in Canada there were 4 or 5 reports of this component failing, and at least a couple of injuries as a result of that. I think in the US there was something like 6 reports made, and there were also a couple of injuries caused by this component failing. Now for me, it's probably not such an issue because I'm on very flat land here, and as Tim mentioned in his video, he's on very flat land. It's not really going to stop him using his tractor until it actually gets fixed. But it is written in here that they are saying for you to stop using your tractor, and I guess that's their liability disclaimer, that once they've told you, if you continue to use your tractor and get injured, well, it's up to you basically. So it'll be interesting to see when we get further notification about these parts becoming available. Now, to show you exactly what these components look like when they fail, I went onto the internet and I found a couple of tractor forums which had pictures of these parts when they actually break, and I'll put these up with the web address all the links, if you like, on the bottom of the screen so you can go and have a look at themselves. So there seems to be the same sort of failure that seemed to appear on this particular bell crank, and when you look at it, it's a bright silver looking component, and it looks like it may be cast aluminium. I'm not too sure if that's right or not, but they all seem to be failing in the same point, where they have a stress fracture down the middle, and then it seems to sort of separate into two parts, and then obviously that falls off and the brake system doesn't work anymore. I'll show you where this actually is by looking at the John Deere parts diagram for the brake assembly, and I'll put that up now. And you can see that on the left hand side of the tractor you have your brake pedal. That connects to a large rod that runs across the middle of the tractor, and that connects to this front bell crank that's actually on the right hand side of the tractor, and from there it connects via a link or a rod back to the brake mechanism. So if that front bell crank fails, then you lose that link to your brakes and you'll have complete brake failure, which if you're on sloping or hilly ground, that becomes a major issue. So the date to fix it, in this letter they indicate that they are trying to make parts available, and they're going to start working on repairing the older tractors first. And the dates that I have here are, they're saying that for model year 2018 tractors, that parts will be released from October the 11th, 2024. Now that's already been, that's about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So now I'm thinking, well, if there are any viewers watching that have actually had their tractors fixed, were they fixed on time? Did they have the parts in stock? What was the process they went through? Okay, for 2019 tractors, the release date for the parts is October the 25th. For model year 2020 tractors, the parts will be released November the 8th. 2021 tractors, parts on November the 22nd. And 2022 tractors, the parts will be released on December the 6th. Now my model year tractor I think is 2020, so I should have parts available in the next week or so. So it'll be interesting to see how quick that happens, and whether I get, or when will I get, another official letter from John Deere saying my tractor can be repaired. And the problem then also relates to, well, what happens to get my tractor fixed? Now, does the tractor have to go back to the dealership to get fixed? And some people have expressed concern on forums about, yes, they will fit the new part once they have the tractor, but it is up to the user or the owner to get the tractor back to the dealer. I don't know whether that's the case here in Australia or not. My particular tractor has been back to the dealer 3 times in the last 4 years for warranty work, and each time the dealer has actually sent out a truck and a trailer, and they've put it on the trailer and taken it to the dealership to return, and then returned it back to me. So I was sort of pretty happy with that service. So I'm not too sure how this is actually going to work, whether the dealers will come and pick up the equipment and fix it, or whether it's up to you to get it back to the dealer. The third scenario I could see that may happen is that they'll send out a service technician, they'll bring out the part, and they will fit it on site to your tractor. Now I've looked at this part, I'll show you now what it looks like and the location of it under the tractor on the right hand side. And for my mind, just looking at it, it looks like it wouldn't be all that hard a job to actually take that old component off and replace it. So we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. But my message would be is the dealers are saying don't use your tractor. I guess it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. They have put it in writing here, so just sort of take that into account when you're using it. So it'll be interesting to see when the products become available to fix the problem, how smooth that process is. Now, I'm sure there'll be some people who say, you know, John Deere tractors, there's always problems with them. There are always parts that are failing. I did actually just, out of interest, I went in this morning and had a look at Kubota, and I typed in Kubota compact utility tractors recall notices within the last 5 years, and I actually got a huge list for recall notices of Kubota tractors here in Australia. So it really isn't just unique to John Deere. I mean, it is a huge number, 147,000, maybe 200,000 tractors is a big number, but it's not unique just to John Deere. A lot of manufacturers go through the recall process, and it's just something that we have to do and put up with. But it'll be good when it's all done. Anyway, that's the video. I just thought I would like to highlight that recall notice to viewers, especially the viewers here in Australia that may have one of the 1023Es, the 1025R or the 2025R tractor, that you need to get your serial number, and that's on the right hand side at the front of the tractor. Get the serial number and go to your John Deere dealer and ask them whether your particular tractor is affected by this recall notice. I haven't tried it, but I believe that you can actually go onto the John Deere website. I think under the tab of parts and servicing, there is a notice there for recall notices where you can actually put in your unique serial number for your tractor, and it will tell you if it is affected by a recall notice and give you the information on how to get that fixed. Anyway, that's today's video. I do appreciate everybody watching the video and supporting the channel. Please share, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.